Today we're going to talk all about swaddling your newborn. Many families will say that their baby will not sleep without being held, or that they will wake up quickly in the crib with that startle reflex. That basically is just when your baby is startled awake from their sleep, and there is nothing like being swaddled. There is nothing that is kind of dampening that reflex. So we are going to talk all about different ways to swaddle your baby and different considerations about swaddling. Even babies who hate being swaddled, they might just need different options. So let's jump right into it. But before I even talk about all the swaddling options, I want to let you know that I go much further in depth into newborn sleep and swaddling in my newborn sleep course. Grab the newborn sleep course. The link is in the description down below. Now, there are 3 things that I want you to consider when it comes to swaddling. The first one being the type of swaddle that you are using or that you have already tried and decided your baby hates it. So what you want to do is check the thickness or the tog of your swaddle. Now, obviously in the winter time, you want a heavier swaddle, and in the summer, you want a lighter swaddle. But just because it's hot and sweaty outside doesn't mean your baby can't be swaddled. It just means that maybe they need a different kind. Now, when it comes to picking what kind of swaddle you want to use, you can also choose between the Velcro swaddles that are kind of like pre-set up for you, or you can use a receiving blanket that you probably got from the hospital. You may have one of these blankets from the hospital. 99% sure everybody in the world has one of these, and I will show you how you can swaddle with this in a little bit here. But I wanted to go through some other options. Now, this one is my favorite. This is the Halo Sleep Sack Swaddle, and it comes with the Velcro and the zipper on the bottom. So you only have to unzip from the bottom in the middle of the night if they went to the bathroom. One of the things I really love about this Halo Swaddle is that the Velcro it's pretty legit. I will show you some other options that don't have such good Velcro on it, but this Velcro is nice and strong so that when your baby does have that Moro startle reflex, they will not be startled awake as much as they will with one of these, okay? I don't even know what brand this is, but I don't love it. So it's cute, it's beautiful, okay? It is beautiful, I'll give it that. And it has like the little pouch that you stick their legs in, and then it has Velcro on it. It has the Velcro on here that you would Velcro your baby in. However, it is not very good Velcro. Where this one, it just like easily comes apart. This Halo one, like, it takes a little more muscle to get that one going. Now, there's also, okay, this one is by the brand Summer. I think it's like Summer Infant. I think they make bottles and stuff too. And this is like the other one. It does have the little pouch in the bottom, and then you can just kind of Velcro it together. And I don't hate it, but I don't love it for the same reasons, because the Velcro is just not that strong. But what I do like about this one is that it is specifically made for a car seat. So it has this hole in the back for the car seat, so you can kind of get your baby in the car seat and then kind of have this swaddle over them, because a lot of babies don't love being in the car seat, and it just kind of makes them feel a little bit scared and they cry a lot. Don't love it, don't hate it, but definitely consider what kind of swaddle you are going to be using with your newborn. If you've tried a swaddle and your baby doesn't love it, it doesn't mean they don't love being swaddled. It just means to try a different kind. Now, the next consideration here is the tightness of the swaddle. So of course, we kind of talked about the intensity of the Velcro here and how that will make a difference in your baby's startle reflex. This is another one of the Halo Sleep Sack Swaddles that I actually got them from the hospital when the babies were born. So I have 3 of these and I love them. So they're always my #1 pick, and you can get them online. But the tightness of the swaddle does matter. And you have to make sure that the tightness of the swaddle is appropriate, that it's an actual swaddle and not a blanket, because your baby needs to be blanket free in the crib until they're a year old. Now the next thing that you need to consider is your baby's body temperature when they're in the swaddle. So just like we talked about different temperatures and different weights of the swaddle, you need to make sure that your baby is not overheating or is feeling cold when they're swaddled. So definitely feel your baby's back. Do not just feel their hands, because their extremities are going to be colder. So feel their back or their chest and see if they're sweating or if they are cold. If they're cold, you can add another layer under. So you should, rule of thumb, just have your baby dressed in one more layer than what you're wearing. So if you're just wearing pajamas to bed, you want your baby to have pajamas and their swaddle. And if it's cold, then you can obviously use a thicker swaddle. You get the gist. Now when it comes to actually swaddling, there are different ways that you can swaddle your baby, and I brought little Minnie along to show you different ways of swaddling, because my babies aren't babies anymore, so I don't have a baby to swaddle for you. So we're gonna swaddle with Minnie here, but there are different ways that you can swaddle, and let's just go through all the different ways relatively quickly here. So of course we're gonna use my favorite swaddle here because it's my favorite, but what you wanna do is get your baby's arms in there. Oh, good job, baby Minnie. Let's not have your head just like bobbing off the side of the table. Not that it matters, but you know, if you were a human. It's gonna take me a second to zip this little baby up. Okay, so now she's all zipped up. Now, you have her arms and you wanna put them down to her sides, and then you want to get this wrapped around her arms. Feel free to lift that tushy up and get it like nice and flat under the tush. And then baby burrito and support the head, okay? So that's way #1. It's not generally recommended to swaddle your baby with their arms up by their chest. However, I am realistic in the fact that I know that some babies are only comfortable that way, so I will show you how to swaddle with your baby's arms up by their chest. Sorry, Minnie, I didn't mean to squish you there, baby. Okay, so it's basically the same thing. You just put the arms close to the chest, and then you wrap it around. Make sure it's nice and flat back there. Nice and tight, okay? Nice and tight, but not too tight. And then, there she is, a sweet little baby. And then, we're gonna talk about the last way that you can swaddle is with one arm out or 2 arms out. I'm just gonna show you with 2 arms out, because this is how you're gonna wanna swaddle when you're transitioning out of the swaddle. I have a whole video on transitioning out of the swaddle that you can watch right over here, and you can watch that at the end of this video. Let's swaddle with the arms out. Bum ba da bum ba da dun dun dun. It is the same thing. Wrap it around, baby girl, and here we go. That's how we're gonna swaddle this baby. Okay, now I'm gonna pretend that I got my little baby here. Can you tell I want a baby? I want another baby, but I'm done, I'm not having a baby. Okay, now one of the biggest tips that I have for you when it comes to swaddling is to swaddle for all sleep. When I talk to my one-on-one clients, I ask them if they're swaddling for naps and nights, and sometimes they say no, they're only swaddling for overnight, but all sleep should have the same sleep situation, the same sleep environment, the same sleep accessories, aka swaddle. So make sure you swaddle your baby for naps and nights and all night long. So even if you have to change your baby's diaper overnight, which is going to happen, make sure that you're re-swaddling. And I'm like laughing in my head right now as I'm saying this. You want to make sure that whatever swaddle your baby loves, that you have more than one, because blowouts are going to happen. So you want to make sure that you have more than one of the same swaddle, so that when your baby poops through their diaper and their clothes and their swaddle, that you have extras laying around, so that you don't have to kind of makeshift a different swaddle. If you have to try a different kind of swaddle, I want you to try it for 3 to 5 full days for all sleep, naps and night before throwing in the towel and deciding on something else. And I forgot that I was gonna show you how to swaddle with your receiving blanket from the hospital. So let's get Minnie out of this one real quick and show you how to do that. Okay, so my kids still play with this blanket with their little baby dolls and stuff, so it's not the cleanest right now, but you want to fold it into like a triangle and put the baby like in the middle so that the point is by their toes. And you always want to keep their hips free. We're not swaddling the hips, we're swaddling the arms and the chest. So you're gonna take the blanket, lift that booty, tuck it under, other side, swaddle it nice and tight, get that snug under. And then what you can do, so a lot of families will like tuck this up. I never did that, I just leave it down, and then I will tuck this other side, kind of wiggle it around, so you can just tuck it in up here, and then she's good to go. She really does look like a little baby mini burrito. With this, I don't mind it, like especially for those like first couple weeks when they're super newborn and they're not really moving anywhere. But as they get stronger, they are going to start breaking out, and with this kind of swaddle, it's like a lot easier for them to just break out and then they're not swaddled anymore. Now, before I talk about some safety concerns right here, I want to remind you to grab the newborn sleep course. The link is in the description box down below. I would love to have you as part of my Slumber and Bloom family. So go ahead and grab that course in the description box after you watch this video. If your baby starts breaking out of the swaddle, then you either need to swaddle tighter, or you may need to consider starting the transition out of swaddling. Now, that will look like having one arm out for a couple nights and then the other arm out for a couple nights and then both arms out. Your kids' arms are ready to be free, and especially if you're seeing any signs of rolling over, if they're consistently starting to roll from back to belly, then they need to be unswaddled stat. They need to be able to push themselves up on the mattress, be able to turn their head fully both ways, and be able to roll themselves back to their back if they want to be on their backs. So if you need help transitioning out of the swaddle, then you can check out this video right here. Click this button to subscribe to my channel and keep blooming. Mwah!